Trump knew exactly what he was doing in inciting the January 6th mob.
The impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump has proven to be a gripping exercise, providing a platform for a very dramatic retelling of the events of January 6th. That day, a mob of Trump supporters ransacked the Capitol, and giving Democrats a platform for detailed allegations of what they say was the role that former President Trump played in instigating that violence. But the trial is also playing out against a kind of incongruous political backdrop. The popularity of President Trump among his core supporters and at the Republican base seems as strong as ever, maybe even stronger in some ways. But first, some evidence for that enduring Trump strength. Republican pollsters who have surveyed swing states say that they have found that President Trump's popularity among base supporters was higher on January 6th than it was on Election Day last fall, and may have actually increased since then. Some public evidence of this phenomenon came in a poll that CBS News produced last week. It found that just 21% of Republicans say they think President Trump is responsible for that violence at the Capitol, and 70% of Republicans said that they would either join or consider joining a third party if Mr. Trump founded one. Now, some more evidence for Mr. Trump's strength comes from the behavior of Republican senators who have to face voters again in 2 years for re-election. Consider Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. He's had a tense relationship with the president at some times in the past, but he's called the impeachment trial stupid and a waste of time.
We are going to spend a week focused on something that is not going to help anyone with the thing that matters in this country the most right now. And that's a terrible thing. That's a waste of our time.
And Mr. Rubio not only has to face voters in 2 years, he could face a primary challenge in Florida from Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter. So that tells you Republican senators at least think Mr. Trump remains a potent force at the base. Now, why is this the case? Well, first of all, some of Mr. Trump's popularity has always been based less in what he is for than who he is against.
And then, of course, we have crooked Hillary, folks. Joe Biden is a shameless hypocrite. Crazy Nancy. He voted with Crazy Nancy.
He bashes Democrats and liberals harder than anybody. His supporters like that. And a lot of American politics today is framed less by what you stand for than who you stand against. And a second force shaping American politics today is loyalty. Increasingly, voters see themselves as part of a red team of Republicans or a blue team of Democrats, and staying loyal to your team is of utmost importance. A sign of that also emerged in that CBS News poll, which found that 73% of Republicans said Republican senators should stay loyal to the former president. This doesn't mean President Trump is more popular overall. In fact, his popularity almost certainly has dropped among independent voters since the election. But within his Republican Party and with his core supporters, he remains very powerful.